Peace, everybody, and welcome back to the Black Only News and Entertainment Network. I'm going to react to Kingdom Reacts video here. Now, Kingdom Reacts is the brother that you see at the bottom of the screen there. He's an avid Trump supporter. He is also a conspiracy theorist believer. Anything Trump tells this clown, he believes wholeheartedly, doesn't even question it. Anyway, Kingdom Reacts was doing a reaction video to Donald Trump and Pam Bondi talking about bringing back that dude from the El Salvadorian prison, Abrego, and he's reacting um, to that person being brought back here to America after Trump said he would never come back. I wonder what happened. What happened that changed the mind of Donald Trump and it ended up bringing him back? I know what it was. The Supreme Court told him to bring that dude back, Abrego back, and then if they didn't, it was going to be Tom Homan, it was going to be Pam Bondi, and some other people who were going to get charged with contempt of court. Anyway, let's get into this.
That anyone caught trafficking children across our border receives the death penalty immediately, and that includes also for women, because women, as you know, are number one in trafficking. Children are actually number two.
And this is coming from a dude, a president, who was convicted 34 times, a felon, convicted of sexual assault, and as a bold-faced liar.
That anyone...
If that doesn't do something to your heart, man, hearing news like that.
What is it supposed to do to your heart, dude? I can't... Anyway, let's continue.
However, Trump just dropped bad news for one of Democrats' so-called heroes, Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia.
Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia is no hero to the Democratic Party, dude. Stop it. He's no hero.
Back in the U.S. under U.S. custody, and he's facing federal charges from one of the worst human trafficking operations we've ever seen. And after
this dude said that this dude, Abrego, leads one of the worst trafficking criminal enterprises that we've ever seen. How does he know this? How does he know that this dude runs the worst criminal trafficking, human trafficking criminal enterprises that we've ever seen? How does he know that? Dude, stop it.
Everything he did, the Democrats are the ones who tried to protect him. Still trying.
No. See, let me explain something to you, brother, because obviously you don't understand. The Democrats were not trying to protect him. He's trying to protect, well, they're trying to protect him, true, but they're also trying to protect you as well, and trying to protect me, and trying to protect all other U.S. citizens. Because Trump and his administration, they can just pull you off the streets because they see a tattoo on you and say you're a part of a gang, and then ship you off to some foreign prison without any due process. That's what the Democrats are complaining about, brother. They're trying to save you and me from being just snatched up off the streets, sent to prison, either in the U.S. or somewhere else, without due process. Brother, you look like, because you got a tattoo, you look like you a gang member. So we're going to ship your ass off and put you in prison somewhere for 20 years. And you don't get to go to court to prove that you are not a gang member. You stupid motherfucker, don't you understand that that's what the Democrats are trying to do? They're trying to protect your rights.
Women are the number one in trafficking and children are number two. This ain't about politics right now. This is about what they tried to hire y'all. Check this out.
And conspiracy to commit alien smuggling in violation of Title 8 USC 1324. We want to thank President Bukele for agreeing to return Abrego Garcia to the United States. Our government presented El Salvador with an arrest warrant, and they agreed to return him to our country.
I thought you said he was never coming back. Y'all talk big and bad that he was never coming back. Abrego Garcia, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He was never supposed to come back. But you got that warning from the Supreme Court saying that your ass is going to be going to jail. Pam Bondi, Tom Holman, and whomever else. You're going to be going to jail if you didn't help him get that clown back here into the United States.
We're grateful to President Bukele for agreeing to return him to our country to face these very serious charges. This is what American justice looks like.
No, Pam Bondi. No, you blonde bimbo. This is not what American justice look like. Because what American justice look like wouldn't have this dude sitting in a El Salvadorian prison for 3 months while you figure it out, while you get... Let me just continue here.
Upon completion of his sentence, we anticipate he will be returned to his home country of El Salvador. The grand jury found that over the past 9 years, Abrego Garcia has played a significant role in an alien smuggling ring.
So let me ask you, Pam Bondi. You said over 9 years he played a significant role in human trafficking and other crimes. Why isn't it that he hasn't been already arrested for these crimes? All these crimes he's supposed to be the head of. Why hasn't he already been put in prison? There was another judge that he stood in front of, and that judge said not to deport him. That there's no evidence of him doing what they said they were doing, because it's supposed to have been some type of informant who probably was in trouble himself, and he was trying to rat on somebody else to get his sentence lowered. That's probably what that was. Because if this dude was a head of a trafficking enterprise like you guys are trying to say that he is, he should have been arrested.
They found this was his full-time job.
Wow.
Not a contractor. He was a smuggler of humans and children and women.
Well, I'm sure you'll have the proof of that, because that's what due process is for. For him to have his day in court, you to present your evidence, and then let the justice system, well, as it is here in America, as it is, then if he's found guilty of those charges, then you deport him. But everybody is supposed to get due process. Even people who come over here illegally, per the Constitution, they too get due process. And it doesn't matter if you like it or not. If you don't like it, change the Constitution. The Constitution that you say you love so much, Pam Bondi, that you've been wiping your feet on for the last 3 months with this Kilmar Garcia person and others that you've railroaded and put in prison without due process. You wiped your foot on the Constitution, and in the Constitution, they deserve due process. They are awarded due process the moment they stepped into the United States, regardless if they came over here legally or illegally. And if you don't like it, take it up with the Constitution.
He made over 100 trips, the grand jury found, smuggling people throughout our country.
The grand jury didn't find anything. You presented your evidence to the grand jury, and the grand jury found that that you can go ahead on and take the dude to court, prosecute him. You can say he jaywalked to the grand jury, and they'll tell you to go ahead on and indict him. So the grand jury didn't find nothing. The only thing the grand jury did is looked at the evidence that you presented.
13 members, violent gang terrorist organization members throughout our country. Thousands of illegal aliens were smuggled. This is especially disturbing because Abrego Garcia is also alleged with transporting minor children. The defendant traded the innocence of minor children for profit. There are even more disturbing facts that the grand jury uncovered. It is alleged.
Why does she keep talking about the grand jury uncovered this? It was Pam Bondi, Tom Holman, whoever else at Homeland Security. Those are the people that are bringing these charges against this dude. The grand jury didn't discover a goddamn thing.
This defendant is part of the same smuggling ring responsible for the death of more than 50 migrants in 2021.
Now, I would like to know how they connected this dude with that incident. I would just love to know how they connected the two.
After the tractor trailer overturned in Mexico. This is part of that same ring. The defendant abused undocumented alien females, according to co-conspirators who were under his control.
So wait a minute. Okay, so again, co-conspirators. Why weren't those co-conspirators sitting in jail with him in El Salvador? Why are they still here in America? These so-called co-conspirators. Shouldn't they be sitting in the jail next to him in El Salvador? Now, all of a sudden, after 3 months, after they got their story together, you guys know what I mean when I talk about the police and getting their story together. After 3 months, you got your story together. You done found some people you railroaded and gave a deal to if you say that this dude here was the ringleader. I mean, it's classic American justice. It's classic.
While transporting them throughout our country. This defendant trafficked firearms and narcotics throughout our country on multiple occasions.
God damn, this dude sound like Tony Montana. Trafficking guns, drugs, women, children. God damn, dude. This dude sound like Tony Montana. Anyway, guys, man, I'm sick of listening to this blonde bimbo straight up lie about what's going on. Because if they had all of this evidence, they could have just simply presented the evidence, found him guilty, and sent his ass on to El Salvador. Now, all of a sudden, 3 minutes later, they got all this evidence, all these witnesses, all these co-conspirators. Well, that's the American justice system for you.